remember how you felt the last time you received a hug? Do you know how many hugs you need per day to stay healthy? Stick around, and we'll be talking about how hugs affect not only our mental health, but our physical health.
I'm Natty.
I'm Veda,
And
and we're
we're
here
here to
to
thrive.
thrive. Welcome to Thrive. Today we're talking about the impact that hugs have on our mood, our mental health, and physical well being.
Here's the thing. Do you know what the benefits of a hug are? Well, a hug can boost your immune system. They're also good for your heart because it lowers the blood pressure and also because the effect of relaxation, it can lower the risk of heart disease. Also, did you know that a hug can act as a natural painkiller? It soothes aches, discomfort, and make you feel better.
Mm-mm.
No, not for you.
No, because when I have a migraine, I need a Excedrin migraine, and it'll be a couple of hours before I want you to touch me. So just put that hug on
So apparently, it's good for pain, but not for your migraines.
her.
Okay.
Right. Hmm.
What else?
Bonding and connection. Hugging fosters emotional bonds, whether it's your family, your friends, or your partner. Those warm embraces strengthen relationships and create a sense of connection.
Mhm.
Mood enhancement. Hugs trigger the release of endorphins, those delightful feel good chemicals. They lift your mood and they combat feelings of loneliness. It also improves your sleep.
Hmm.
A comforting hug before bedtime can promote better sleep. It relaxes your body, your mind, making it easier to drift off into dreamland.
So if I don't have anybody to hug at night, can I hug my um, body size pillow?
Oh, yeah.
Would that work?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here's the thing. A hug can also reduce stress hormones and releases oxytocin, which is the feel good or love hormone. Um, a hug can reduce anxiety because the physical closeness of a hug gives you a sense of security and makes you feel grounded. And I can attest to that. I've been in, and here's the thing, anxiety makes you feel like you're all over the place. And when somebody hugs you, I've been in a situation where somebody hugged me when I was in the middle of a real bad anxiety moment. And that's what it feels. It feels like you're enclosed, that embraced, and you feel grounded and you feel like you're finally getting a hold of yourself and that anxiety starts to just melt away.
Yeah. Empathy and compassion. Hugging communicates care and empathy. It's a universal language that speaks beyond words. So I don't have to know French, German, el españolis.
Yeah. We're working on her Spanish.
Yeah. See?
Here's the thing. A hug is also can be a way of self-care because you can hug yourself and hugging yourself counts. So let's try that. At the count of three, let's hug ourselves. One, two, three.
Mm,
Mm.
mm,
So
mm.
see, that felt good.
Yes, I love me. It's incredible how something as simple as a hug can have such a profound effect on our physical health. But it doesn't stop there. Hugging also offers emotional benefits. What happens to our brain when we hug someone?
Well, in the brain, there are a bunch of neurochemicals that send signals in our brains. And what they do, and these signals decrease cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And when the cortisol decreases, it creates a sense of safety and calmness. Now, we were talking about oxytocin earlier, and that's the love hormone.
Hmm.
And when we're hugging, our brain releases oxytocin, and that hug stimulates in the emotional bonding with the person that you're hugging. And gives you feelings of trust and connection.
Mhm.
Now, here's the thing: there are some short hugs and there are long hugs. They're all good, but in order to get the full effect of the hug, you have to have at least a 5-second hug.
One Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi, five Mississippi.
So you can't force somebody to hug that long. But if you're the one giving that hug, try to do the 5 Mississippi to make sure that that person that you're hugging gets the full effect. Here's
Yes.
the thing: a hug is not just a physical gesture, it is a powerful way to nurture our minds and our bodies.
Yes, it is. But how many hugs do we really need?
Well, according to pediatricians in Greenwich, they say that children need at least 12 hugs a day to grow healthy, physically and emotionally.
Okay.
And kids tend to be huggers. You have their exceptions. So they tend to, if you don't give it to them, they will find a way
Yes,
to
they
get
will.
their 12 hugs.
Mhm.
Women, we need at least 4 hugs a day.
Mhm.
In general, just to survive, people need 4 hugs a day.
Okay.
Just to survive.
Mm.
To maintain emotional balance, you have to aim for 8 hugs. So you know how they've been telling us that we need 4 glasses of milk and 8 glasses of water.
That's a lot of drinking.
It is. Well, you need 4 hugs to survive and 8 hugs to maintain emotional well-being
And to thrive.
and to thrive. No, not
Yes.
to thrive. To thrive, you need 12.
Wow.
No, no, no. 4 is just so that you don't die. It's just to
Okay.
survive.
Okay.
8 is to maintain.
Maintain.
To thrive, grow, and flourish, you
12.
need 12.
Okay. Got it.
So go ahead and
Got
start
it.
hugging and getting hugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how many you need.
Okay.
12 in order to thrive.
It's fascinating how something as simple as a hug
Mhm.
can have such a profound impact on our lives. And guess what?
Wow.
There's even National Hugging Day.
Ooh, a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. National Hugging Day is celebrated on January 21st. I keep saying April, that's why she's looking at me. Is celebrated on January 21st. It was initiated by a pastor in Clio, Michigan, which I also kept getting wrong, named Kevin Saborny. I hope I didn't kill his name. He came with the idea that encouraging others to share warm embraces, family, friends, so that they could experience closeness. So, as of 1986, it became a national holiday and is celebrated all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Pastor Soborny was onto something really special because hugs are more than just expressions of love. They're an actual need for our survival.
Yeah.
Man was not meant to be alone.
No, that's
God did
biblical.
not make us to be alone.
Yeah.
So we need to have companionship and we
Connections.
need to touch.
Connections.
Touch is so important.
Hmm.
There's a story of a woman in Florida where a baby walked up to her. She knelt down and the baby hugged her and she cried and said, I haven't been hugged in 13 years.
Wow.
That blew my mind. It blew my mind.
That's crazy.
And every time I thought about that the rest of the day for a couple of days, I cried because I can't imagine living without a hug.
Yeah. So many years.
So many years.
It's just amazing how such a small gesture can have such an impact on our well-being.
Yes.
So tell me something. Does the Bible say anything about hugs?
Little bit.
Okay.
There are at least 55 scriptures in the
That's more than
Bible.
a little bit.
Just a tad. At least 55 scriptures in the Bible dealing with hugs.
Okay.
But in the Bible, it's called embrace and kiss.
Okay.
Let's look at a couple of scriptures. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." Guess what? That's a hug from God to humanity.
I never thought about it that way.
Never.
I never thought about it, but it makes sense.
It does make
It makes
sense.
sense that the fact that God sent us His only Son is a hug to humanity. It's an
Yes.
embrace to humanity. That makes sense.
That's a big hug.
Hmm.
Psalms 147:3 talks about embracing those who are hurting. Acts 20:10 talks about Paul kneeling down, embracing a man to comfort him.
Now, there's a scripture I do know,
Hmm.
and that's Ecclesiastes 3 and 5. And that scripture says that there's a time for embrace and there's a time to refrain from embrace. Meaning, you can't always hug somebody.
Right.
You have to ask for permission. You have to ask for consent.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not the time.
Right.
You know, there's many there are many situations that can happen. One, some people don't like to be touched,
Right.
or they don't want to be touched in that moment.
Hmm.
So it's always wise to ask, "Can I hug you?" Do you know anybody that doesn't like being touched?
Yeah. I know a beautiful young woman who does not like being touched, but she has three beautiful children, and she's been married going on 9, 10 years, and her husband is the total opposite. He's like an octopus.
I guess he was able to touch her a couple of times.
I guess, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then her not wanting to like to be touched,
Mhm.
and then he always wants to touch. Apparently, they came together in the middle and they worked it out.
Apparently works for them.
Hmm.
I do have a friend like that. I have a friend who we've known each other for, I don't know, 13, 14 years, and she hates being touched. She could be grieving, she could be sad, she could be crying, and she would not let you touch her.
Hmm.
I learned that very quick, very early. And I know that every time I felt like she probably needed a hug, I asked. And 99.9% she would tell me no. And I respected that. And I also know sometimes, when you have those moments where you feel like you're about to fall apart and somebody wants to give you a hug and you're trying to hold yourself together.
Hmm.
If somebody hugs you, it does. I mean, it depends. Like if you're at work or something like that, you don't want to lose your composure there. So somebody maybe trying to be nice and give you a hug, but you know that you won't be able to work for the rest of the day.
Right.
So always ask, because that may not be. It may be the right approach, and they will appreciate it, but it might not be the right time.
Right. Exactly. The other day, we were in Walmart, and Mason met an elderly lady.
Hmm.
She was very nice, and she asked us, "May I hug him?" That was respectful.
That was very nice.
And we told her yes. Mason was going to hug her anyway,
He's a hugger.
whether we said yes or no. But she asked us, and we said yes. And he gave her a couple of real nice hugs.
He's a hugger.
After she hugged him, she started pulling money out of her
Yes.
purse.
Yes.
She gave him $1 and a lot of change.
All
okay?
the change in her purse, she just put it out of his pockets. Yes.
Yeah. So we have Mason hugging people, be able to pay off some
We
stuff.
can't pay them away.
No, we're not going to
No,
do
we
that.
can't do that.
But I am thankful
Yes.
that he has the spirit and the gift of love
Mhm.
and hugging. I don't know where he got that from, but you know.
Now, here's the thing. Sometimes we are in a situation where we don't have the person that we would like to hug close to us
Right.
physically. So don't discount virtual hugs. Uh, Sometimes that's what you have to do because the person is not physically within proximity.
Right.
I remember when my mom passed away and people call me or send me virtual hugs over social media, over text. Those were very meaningful.
Hmm.
Granted, you don't have the full effect of the physical closeness, but don't discount those because those are still very important. They show the person that you care,
Hmm.
that you feel empathy for them,
Hmm.
and that you're transmitting the sense of closeness and love.
Right.
So don't discount those virtual hugs. They do
Right.
count.
I have a cousin who lives in Paris. And the other day I sent him a virtual hug and it said, I'm hugging you with my mind. I hope you feel it. He texted me back and said, I definitely do.
Oh, that's nice.
So Paris is umpteen thousands and thousands of miles away from us, but he felt my love through a virtual hug.
And that's what.
So that's very important. Hmm. Regardless if it's with family, friends, or even ourselves, let's share a warm embrace and spread love and spread connections.
Well, that's all we have for today on this episode of Thrive. Please don't forget to click the like button so that the algorithm gets the word out about our podcast to everybody out. Also, subscribe so that you do not miss a single episode.
Join us next time as we explore more ways to nurture our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. And until then,
Remember
remember
to
to
hug
hug
often
often
and
and
thrive.
thrive.
Have a great day.